Well, welcome guys to another episode of Track Haul Quest. And in this episode, we're going to be addressing the rock sliders. We have my brand new set of rock sliders, and these are actually fabricated by a company called White Knuckle Offroad. And these are super beefy. The welds are on point. And I did order these with a 20-degree rake, so it kicks up about 20 degrees for better clearance. They also came in a bare steel, and that's because we're going to be coating these with a coating of Raptor liner. So this is more of a bed liner type of paint, and this tends to hold up better than powder coat. That's just my opinion. So the way these mount to the truck is slightly different from what I have on there now. So these rock slides actually use this U-bolt that sandwiches or captures the frame in between the U-bolt and the mounting bracket that's welded onto the slider. So, alright guys, so we're going to end up using this kit right here by Raptor Liner. It comes with 4 bottles of black bed liner. It also comes with the hardener and the spray gun, which is included in this kit. So you'll get 4 of these bottles that come in the kit, and I think they offer different colors if you're interested. It also comes with this hardener. So you have to add a certain amount of hardener into the bottle here. You shake it, get it all mixed up really well, and then you will then screw the bottle onto the applicator gun and spray. We're going to actually process the rock sliders, and we're going to get these ready for paint. Before we apply the Raptor liner, we need to prepare. So I got some of this POR 15, POR 15, POR 15, however you call it, cleaner degreaser. So we're going to go through both rock sliders with this. Make sure we get all that oil and grease off the rock sliders. Then after that, we're going to metal prep the steel. So this will actually etch into the steel. It'll create like a rough microscopic finish on the surface of the steel. It'll actually leave like almost like a white residue, but this will actually will prep the surface, so then the Raptor liner will be able to adhere to all those little crevices that this actually creates. So yeah, this stuff is really good. I do suggest you wear a respirator with this metal prep because it stinks. It's really bad for you. As well, when you're spraying the Raptor liner, you need to wear a respirator because that stuff is nasty. We have the metal etching spray solution on the steel, and from this point on we just got to wait about 20 minutes We got to make sure we keep the bare steel wet with solution. So if we see it drying out, we'll go ahead and reapply. So yeah, 20 minutes. We should be good to go. See that white residue there? That's what the metal etch leaves behind. So this is pretty much ready for paint now. So we're going to add the hardener to the tint. So we need to fill this up with 8 ounces of hardener, which is this part here. And this applicator cup comes with the kit. Now we're going to shake it. Depending on the amount of texture I want, I would adjust my air pressure. So if I want a tighter texture, smaller texture, I would increase the air pressure and vice versa, right? So we're gonna run a little spray sample there and see where we're at. At the outflow gauge on my compressor, I'm pretty much standing at 70 psi outflow. So we'll see if we want to keep it there or increase, decrease, we'll see. Yeah, that looks good. It's a tighter, smaller texture, so we're gonna go with that. Alright guys, so we got the first coat on, and we're going to wait about 60 minutes for the first coat to dry, and we're going to go with the second coat, so each side's going to get 2 coats. So far so good, it'll lay down really well. Alright guys, so we are looking at our frame rail along the passenger side, and as you can see, we have our catalytic converter right here. We're going to use this transmission jack I have here. Bought this at Harbor Freight for a good deal, and we're going to place the rock slider on top of here and then crank it up.
with a little bit of help from my friend Mr. Crowbar, I was able to assist in getting this mount into this very tight spot. As you can see here, we got a little bit of contact there between the heat shield for these catalytic converters.
Now it's lined up there. Come on, baby. Go. Alright. So we're going to end up pulling off these heat shield bolts. There's 4 bolts. I got a feeling they're going to end up breaking. They're all rusted out. Yep. Yep, there goes another one. Another broken bolt. There goes the third one. Wow. Look at all that sand and dirt. Yeah. Little collection there. So there's our catalytic converters. And okay, this is gonna be interesting. How in the hell am I gonna remove this upper shield? You gotta drop the whole freaking catalytic converter. I opened up a can of worms here. As you can see, I pulled off the lower heat shield. Upper one's still up there, stuck. Can't get that one out. So the only way to get this one out is to pull off this outer catalytic converter. And as you can tell there, we broke a bolt already. So, man, it's not easy. But we're gonna get this right. We have 2/3 of the exhaust pretty much pulled off the truck. What's left is the exhaust manifolds way up there. There's 2 exhaust manifolds. But so we've got the down pipes, 2 down pipes removed. We pulled off the catalytic converters, as well as the crossover pipe and the muffler all have been pulled off. As you can see here, we have 4 holes, which White Knuckle Offroad utilizes for their mounting location up front, and those are threaded. And I think it's a pretty neat idea how they incorporated that into the rock slider. So the issue I was having was interference with that front mount and this heat shield. So I found out that there's no way to pull off the upper heat shield without having to pull off the entire exhaust system. So you got to pull the catalytic converters. I ended up pulling the down pipes, and here's the crossover pipe, and there's the old muffler there. But so I didn't want to just bend this out of the way with the crowbar and do a hack job. So the proper way to do it would be to notch out a square top and bottom to allow for enough clearance to prevent any rattles. I think the biggest annoying thing is having an exhaust vibrate against another component. So I ended up breaking these 4 bolts here. These are press fit in there. Everything just rusted out. So that's the top shield. Here's the lower shield. So yeah, we're gonna end up having to notch this one out as well. So these are pretty much 2-part system. Something like that, and we're gonna end up notching. So the most interference I was getting was right here, right at this seam, where the 2 halves meet. So we're gonna notch a good section out. I would say probably about 3-inch by maybe 6-inch section. So we're gonna end up reusing this heat shield. I want to keep it on stock as much as possible. I didn't want to get into the exhaust, but I was forced to, and I've been putting it off for a while. That's the original muffler from '94, so it's due for a replacement. Like I said, I've been trying to hold off on spending any more money on this exhaust, but we're gonna take care of it. Might as well do it right, and this has to go in first before the rock slider. So we're gonna end up keeping these catalytic converters. These are actually still in good shape. These are actually TEQ converters. We're gonna replace this crossover pipe. Got a good deal on one, brand new one. We're going to replace this bracket here. It's more of a shield. And we're going to rewrap these down pipes with some heat shield, do it proper. These O2 sensors are fairly brand new, so we're going to end up keeping these. And we're going to get a replacement stock OEM muffler. I want to do this correctly. I didn't want to just bend the heat shield with the crowbar. And having to remove that heat shield, at least the upper one, forced me to pull the whole exhaust off. So I need more clearance. That's the reason I ordered them angled rock sliders from White Knuckle Offroad. So you guys stay tuned for part 2, and we're waiting on parts. The exhaust has to go in first before the rock slider install. So it is what it is, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.